More than a year ago, we began our examination of the 5 Scale Up for Success schools in South St. Petersburg. In those 12 months, we've seen some progress, and we are now moving from Scale Up to Success to schools that are in the transformation zone. Today, we are going to take a look at one of those schools that's in the transformation zone. Located in the historic Lakewood Estates neighborhood, Maximo Elementary is the next school to be highlighted in our ongoing series, The Road to Transformation. I'm DeMaurice Lee with the District's Office of Strategic Communications. Our journey begins with Principal Lakeisha Falana. Principal Falana became the principal at Maximo Elementary in June 2014, just 20 months ago. She was appointed to the position just weeks before the start of the 2014-15 school year, and from there, she began building her vision of what Maximo Elementary could be.
When I walked in, I had to hire over 50% of my staff. So from the time I walked in the doors on June 9th up into the week the teachers came back, I think that was August 8th, I was interviewing from classroom teachers to assistant principal to secretary bookkeeper to media specialist, music teacher. It just varied. And then on top of that, starting to hire the paraprofessionals in between. So it's been quite busy, but it's been rewarding. Well, the process here helps us to drive our way of work at Maximo, from our personnel to providing instructional support to providing instructional resources to better meet the needs of our students. We always think with the end in mind as far as highest student achievement. So from there, we start backing it up to determine what do we need to put in place to make sure that we are effectively meeting the needs of our students.
To assist Maximo and the other schools within the transformation zone, district curriculum experts demonstrate exemplar classroom lessons like this one by elementary English language arts specialist Holly Slaughter. These lessons are to ensure that the instructional practices are being carried out at a high standard.
We've been writing awesome opinions, and your opinions are awesome, and they're getting even awesomer, stronger. Stronger is a better word. So flex your writing muscles. Go ahead. Our writing's getting stronger. Yes. Last night when I was reading Alexis's writing, one of the things that I noticed that she did as a writer that I thought was really cool is she helped me as the reader understand her parts. She labeled the intro. Yes, so one of the things that we've been doing with the literacy coaches this year is we've been studying some of the strategies presented in the book, Engaging Students with Poverty in Mind, which is written by Eric Jensen. So he does a lot of brain research and research on students who live in poverty, and the special strategies that we can implement that certainly work with students who live in poverty, but they work with all students. So we've brought some of those strategies to the work with the literacy coaches this year, and we've actually done some of the work with learning specialists this year for them to go back and implement in the classrooms. What you're doing right now is really smart. You're sketching, right, as a way to kind of get your mind ready to write something, right? So you've started by sketching your family. There's you, and then there's your brother, right? And you're probably gonna add some others. So one of the things that you'll notice in the video is that I was working side by side with the literacy coach at Maximo, Cindy Marshall, and we were in a 3rd grade class studying explicit teaching, engagement strategies, conferring, ways to get kids up and moving and excited about learning. And so one of the things that Cindy's been doing is she's been continuing that work at Maximo, working with teachers, planning with teachers, working side by side in the classrooms to implement explicit teaching tied to the standards, getting kids excited. Tell me about some of the details of the Thai temple.
I get to see the fish.
Uh-huh.
And the bridge.
So you have here that you feed fish and you're standing on a bridge when you feed the fish? It looks like here you feed them bread?
Yep.
Okay, so one of the things that you can do, Donovan, is that you can go back and look at your sketch. And you can say, what other detail do I have in my sketch that I could add to my words? What we're implementing are these strategies. Teach to the standards, engage students, get them excited, get them engaged in the work, get them moving around. What we hope to see then is the teachers implementing these strategies and then ultimately the ELA scores going up.
Here at Maximo, students and teachers alike are noticing a difference in the school's culture and climate.
Every day when I drop my kids off here at Maximo, I don't worry about them. I feel like they're in such a safe environment. They're happy to be here. They're having a lot of fun, and I've seen nothing but progress in them.
What I like about coming to Maximo Elementary is how the teachers greet you kindly every morning and how they are always caring for you.
At Maximo, one thing that I really enjoy is working with our staff. Our teachers are so dedicated, professional. They really care about our students. They go above and beyond, and we just have a great, great staff to work with.
The teachers help me a lot when I need help.
My favorite thing about Maximo is the staff and the environment that they create for my children. They are very welcoming, they're friendly, they just wholeheartedly care about our children here.
I'm really proud of Maximo in terms of what we offer students for extracurricular activities. I think it engages them in becoming better citizens. It engages them socially and academically. It makes them have a sense of being a part of their community and achieving. I think our extracurricular activities at Maximo give students something to look forward to, something to really be a part of.
We use data a lot here at Maximo. We have a data team, we have school-wide data chats, we have student data chats, we have grade level data chats with the students and with teachers. So as a teacher, we sit, we look at what's going well, what's not going so well, and then what we can do to improve it. With the students, we talk about their gains, like how can you make a gain, and if you haven't made a gain, what's a goal you can set that's reasonable that we can work on together.
I think we have the best plant operations staff in the whole county. Every time there's a visitor, that's the first thing they say, your school is so beautiful. This is not what I thought it was going to look like. There's so much art on the walls. Everybody's happy. Everything is clean and nice and organized.
I think one of the things that makes Maximo so great, makes me want to get up and come to work here every day, is the kids, the atmosphere that has been cultured here.
What I think is great about Maximo is that everybody, including students, are super hardworking. We're really trying to instill perseverance in the students here, and they're really making improvements and just believing in themselves and really trying their best.
I am very optimistic about the students here. I feel like we have students who can learn, want to learn, and are learning.
If you were a parent, I would tell you to send your child to Maximo because you won't find a better staff. You won't find more dedicated teachers who are going to go above and beyond to meet the needs of your student and to help them be successful.
The sell point for me of Maximo Elementary is the dedication and the expertise of our teachers. I would have any teacher here be my child's teacher.
The staff and the teachers are great, and they take really good care of the children here. They're very dedicated and passionate about what they do, and they work really hard. I think that's Maximo there.
All right, make sure you use those really hard questions so you can answer them.
While the teachers and staff at Maximo Elementary work to ensure that students are on task and learning, just as important in a child's successful educational journey is parental involvement. Throughout the school year, Maximo hosts many family nights such as this one.
Tonight is all about having our families come in and have some education, not only for the parents, but to have a little fun while we do this with the Florida standards assessment, as well as math and science activities.
Hey, Courtney, the grown up so big. I'm so happy to see her little bag.
We want our parents to always be as informed as possible about the skills and strategies that their students need, and we like to do it like tonight in a fun way where it's for everybody. It's not just, we want the parents, we want the students and the students and the parents here for this.
Not just about here's the right answer, but how and why did I get there?
It's important to let parents know what we are teaching their students here at school, and also to show them how they can engage in science activities at home and support their child at home, as well as what we are doing here.
And I came on board and helped put together some interactive games. So I want the families to be working with the students and the students. So my goal is to have parents and children talking to each other about the math, and so that the students can tell parents how they would solve something, and parents would also then share.
They're constantly trying to get parents in for informative nights like tonight, send information home, send the calls home so that everyone gets it, and in keeping the parents informed and engaged at all times. It's a community effort when we want our kids to make gains and grow. Like, everybody has to be involved, parents, teachers, kids themselves. Everybody has to play a part.
So we know that the research shows that when families are involved in students' education, learning increases. So that's one of the critical reasons why we want to have a content night, content being math and science, so that families are interactive and students see that these subjects are not just in a textbook.
Anytime they have anything to do with education, whether it's family literacy night, math and science night, which happens to be tonight, it's always a big help as far as them being more knowledgeable and I guess helping them advance in different areas. My daughter, she has been like a little behind in certain areas of math and also reading. So with her, it's just like getting the extra help. So wherever I can get her to help at, I'm here. I found they showed us more ways that you can engage yourself in math activities, different ways, by counting, grouping, things like that. Because her education is important. You know, she's in first grade, she still have 11 more years to go, and you have to start now.
Well, my kid's been here since kindergarten. I love the school and they're learning a lot, but they need a little extra help because the testing, from what I see, is really difficult, and it has changed over the years. Experience, I know for my son, is really scary for him. He doesn't pick up very well, and he needs a lot of time for writing, and by it being time, he's really nervous about it. My daughter likes to write a lot, so she's worried about if she has enough time. But I'm working with them at home, and the teachers just told me the practice they've been doing, they're doing very well.
This is my 5th year here at Maximo as a literacy coach, and over the last couple months, well, even over just this year, I have seen tremendous progress as far as academics go and as far as behavior goes as well. I would attribute it to a strong administration, excellent teachers that embrace the students. They want to build those meaningful relationships with the students so that this is like their family, their community when they're here all day.
It's been amazing since I first came. I had this stigma of it's a lower school and the behavior has to be horrible, and I got here and I was completely shocked and surprised that the behavior is under control. The students are engaged and doing their best at all times. The teachers are doing their best at all times. The kids are amazing and sweet, and the staff is wonderful. I love it here.
Principal Falana knows the value of relationships with her students, and she understands how important it is for students to feel like they are in an environment where they are safe and that learning is a priority.
I need you to have a splendid day. But when you go in the classroom, good morning. Good morning.
I always be good.
I know you do. When you go in the classroom, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you get a napkin and wipe your mouth? Because I know your breakfast was delicious because you have it all over your lips.
It's very important to get the day started off to a great start because a lot of times our kids are coming in and they're excited because of something that may have happened that night and they want to come in and share. So just a simple good morning to greet them starts their day off great, and then they're calm, they're settled as they're entering into the classroom, because once their day is started off on the right foot, then most of the time the rest of their day continues to be that. Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, good morning. Whoa, we're leading the pack this morning.
Well, so we saw you work in the halls this morning. How important is it for the students to see you visible in the morning as they enter the school?
It's very important for them to see me visible, because then that gives them a sense of knowing that I care about them, I care about their learning, and I care about their safety.
So you talked about them seeing you and being visible and how important that is. So how important is establishing those relationships with your students to an effective school year?
To me, I feel it's very important. I don't know who the person is that's responsible for this quote, but the quote is, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And once our children know that we care about them, they're more apt to give it their best and give it their all. So by me standing out front in the mornings, that's my way of letting my children know in one fashion that I do care about them and I care about their well-being and how they start their day. So as we pass through them in the hallways, that's seeing them in a different light than just in the educational classroom setting. You see their personalities come out as they're walking through the hallways. So to be able to interact with them in those ways outside of asking academic questions is valuable as well. Blue. Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask you after school.
Good morning, Mariners. Today is Wednesday, March 16th. Mr. Green, we have some boxes in front of us today, because today is the day that we select who the person will be as far as grade levels for Mariner Buck celebration. So with that,
Well, let's talk about the morning show. And so you had an incentive program going on this morning. Explain that incentive program.
That one that we did this morning is called our Mariner Buck celebration, and that's where students are rewarded for following our guidelines for success, and they're handed a Mariner Buck. And the more Mariner Bucks they get, the larger their chances are to be able to have their name pulled when it's time for us to do our drawing like we did this morning. And we have boxes strategically placed in our common areas, and as they receive a Mariner Buck, they drop their name in for their positive reward, that the behavior that they displayed. And then every quarter we have a drawing, and then as you can see, they come down and they get little gifts.
So Mariner Bucks and those types of programs, are they instrumental in ensuring that students also adhere to the rules and just another incentive process? How important are those kind of programs?
Yes, that is one of our positive spins that we have here at Maximo. When our leadership team started, we said we wanted to focus on the positive behavior and the academics, and so we implemented, we have a positive behavior support team, and together they came up with the various ideas that we reward students for following our guidelines for success, because in order for them to get a quality education, they have to make sure that they are in the right environment with the right behavior.
So I see kids walking in line, hands to the side. Is that part of this newness that's going on at Maximo with transitions and making sure transitions are happening properly?
Yes, that's part of the way that we have our quick transitions. And if it's part of our common language that's spoken throughout the building from pre-K all the way up to 5th grade. That's part of our school-wide behavior plan as far as what does it look like. And as you can see, when you go through our common areas, you see our expectations, and they all fall under the 3. Be respectful, be responsible, and be cooperative. And what does that look like under each one for whatever the activity is? So as far as walking in line, they have that. What does this look like? Hands to the side, mouths are closed. We're at a level 0, and we're walking in a single file line.
Throughout this transformation process, Dr. Antonio Burt has been a part of the improvement plan at these 5 schools. Now, as the district's director of school leadership, Dr. Burt leads the turnaround effort that is occurring in the transformation zone.
So as the director of school leadership, my role is to provide day-to-day guidance to the 5 schools in the area of helping them build outstanding system and operations inside the school, also working with school leaders to build instructional capacity, and helping leaders look at the levers that's very important for a school turnaround. Those levers being culture and climate, system and operations, teaching and learning, aligning staff, and developing their own personal leadership. The reason why I want to spotlight this because if third grade can do that and go higher, that's great. But if we can get some production out of fourth grade, it gives you more of a cushion.
Right.
Because this is like flat out proficiency and not including any type of learning goals.
Well, it seems like it's come full circle. You know, you got here last year, maybe August or so, at the beginning of the school year. Now we're coming to near the end of the school year. Have you noticed any differences? Have you noticed any changes in that process?
So one of the big things that, I've noticed early on is that the culture inside the school is calming into the right direction. I think some of the work that was started on the course of last March and into the summer has paid dividends throughout this school year, and I'm looking forward to take that work that has already been started and catapult it to the next level.
So explain to us where you are in your process. Are you really giving a good assessment of each school team, sort of kind of figure out where each school needs to go? Because I'm sure there is some differences in the climate for each school. Where are you in your process?
So I began on this journey on January 25th. And so I completed roughly almost a 60-day diagnostic of each of the buildings. The diagnostic entails like visiting every classroom, working side by side with the school leader, and I did a SWOT analysis of the school. So I looked at the strengths, the weaknesses, and what are those opportunities that the school has, but what are those potential threats that could be barriers to success. And based on that SWOT analysis, I developed a plan of action that will help the school make dramatic academic gains for the 2016-2017 school year. One thing that I noticed, third grade ELA helped the school surpass like their goal. Like you all had 35 kids. They're proficient or advanced on Cycle D, so definitely continue that because you made a huge leap on this last cycle.
So you've already created a plan of action already?
Yes, this plan of action will focus on specific levers, and those levers will be looking at the human capital. We'll also be looking at the instructional schedule, and we'll be looking at what are those systems that we need to develop school-wide to be best practices throughout the school. Time frame wise, we've already started with an aggressive approach. To Dr. Grego and the board's credit, we're really looking at how do we really do school turnaround. And with that being said, we've proposed developing a transformation zone with a team of individuals with a specialized skill set of going into the schools, working with whether it's teachers, school leaders, inside the classroom, and that team will be on the ground in the 5 schools on a daily basis providing that support. And with that time frame, we have goals that we'll set. Our goals are very ambitious. We're looking at to take schools from an F to C in year 1 and from a C to A in year 2. We're going to measure our success by the 2016-2017 school year because we begin with our support and our intentionality over this summer. Those goals, we have no doubt in our mind that we will make those goals, and we may exceed those goals, but we have a minimum of F to C in year 1 and C to A in year 2. Because when you have kids that's already below grade level, you can't do things incrementally. So we're approaching it from a school turnaround perspective. Our goals are big, bold, ambitious, but we're going to do the work. We're going to approach it with intentionality and urgency every day, but we're going to ensure that those are met. And with that, all decisions will be driven by data. So we have to have the goal to guide our work, and with that, we'll have checkpoints throughout the course of the year to see where we are in comparison to the goals that we've set. I felt like this could be the ultimate challenge, but one that I felt that I was prepared for and one that I feel that I can be successful in. And I felt like I was called to come to Pinellas based on the needs of the schools and most importantly, to be a voice for the kids and help them close the academic gap that's in place, but get them on the right course of like an academic trajectory of success.
Yes, you ready? I know you are, because you've been working.
This is testing. This is day 2 for our 3rd grade FSA ELA assessment.
And that will be wrapping up your English Language Arts Florida Status Assessment. And I know you're going to continue to do a dynamite job using the strategies and the stamina that you have been taught all year.
Monday, we had a parade in honor of our third graders because we've already honored our fourth and fifth graders earlier during the FSA writing assessment. So we wanted to make sure we didn't leave our third graders out. And today is day 2, and they still have their smiling faces. They are ready to go, and we have great hopes that they will continue to show what they know on these assessments. We looked at the data and we analyzed our Cycle 3 data for ELA, and we had a surplus in that area as far as our target goal that we are trying to meet for our FSA ELA for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and we had surpassed it, and the greatest gains that we saw did take place in 3rd grade, so we're excited about that. Everybody is here for the same reason, and that's for our babies. And to see the looks on their faces each and every day, coming to school ready to learn, that to me is the most gratifying feeling that I have, because they look to us to help make a positive difference in their educational experience here. And to see them here ready to go and ready to learn each day, that is so rewarding for us, and that continues to fuel our energy and our passion and our drive to continue to provide excellent instruction.
From building strong instructional practices to continuing to maintain strong relationships with students and parents, the transformation effort has taken hold here at Maximo Elementary. I'm DeMaurice Lee. See you next time.